Body bags where horror lies.
Welcome back to Body Bags. This is week number 438. This is a random week. I'll be your host, Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And this week I picked Deadly Games. Deadly Games is a 1982 film which runs approximately 95 minutes and is written and directed by Scott Mansfield. Now, he was responsible for Imps and some shorts. Now this stars Alexandra Morgan as Linda Lawrence. She was in Spellbinder, Erotic Images, and a bunch of TV. Joanne Harris as Keegan Lawrence. She was in The Beguiled, Caged Fear, and Xanadu. And Sam Green as Roger Lane. He was in Deadly Eyes, Run for the Roses, and a bunch of TV. Now this also has Stephen Railsback, Dick Butkus, which really surprised me, and it actually gives a big thank you to Gale Sayers. If you're a football fan, of course, you're going to know who those people are. This movie is kind of an oddball. Not an oddball as in the type of movie it is. It's just a pretty obscure film that Arrow has actually dug out of obscurity. I've been loving the stuff that they have been releasing lately. They've released The Prey, Death Scream, The Wind. They've released so many good films lately, and films that I consider comfort food, and this is one of them. Now, this film is probably not going to be for everyone. This film reminds me a lot of Prom Night, right down to the look of the killer, and the disco music, and the fact that it doesn't have a huge body count. But in my opinion, this is a really cool whodunit. It didn't fool me for the entire time. I have seen this before. Big shout out to Joe, the horror man, because he actually made me a copy. This is the original artwork. He made me a copy of this film a long time ago, and pretty long time ago. And I kind of fell in love with this one. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Basically, what you have is our character in the beginning, Linda Lawrence, is killed by this killer. And her stepsister actually, Keegan Lawrence, comes back to not only be with the mom and to see her college and high school friends or whatever, but also to live in Linda's house for a little while just to kind of get away from things. And all of her girlfriends are mysteriously picked off one by one by this killer. Yeah. Sam Green and Stephen Railsback play best friends. Sam Green is a cop, and Stephen Railsback plays a wounded war soldier because him and his buddy Roger Lane were both in Vietnam together. And most people don't really care for Stephen Railsback's character, which I believe his name's Billy, because they think he's weird. Of course, you have red herrings in this one. And it is a pretty cool whodunit, in my opinion. Arrow did a really good job with this, of course. I do believe this is a 4K scan, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's a 2K scan. It has some special features, which are, they have a commentary by The Hysteria Continues. They have a interview with the girl who plays Snooty, I think her name is, or Scooty. They have a interview with the guy who did the special effects. You have your trailer and your still photos and posters and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, they did a really good job with this. Now, this was one, of course, that skipped over DVD and went right to Blu-ray. Um, and I can see where that would kind of irritate people, I guess. People who are fans of this movie who maybe had it on VHS or saw it years ago. This was one that eluded me, but I can see where people would kind of get irritated if they only buy DVD. But yeah, they did a really good job with this. Now, as I said before, this is kind of like comfort food for me because I love 80s slashers. And even though it doesn't have a huge body count, this is still an 80s slasher, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. Check out Deadly Games. It might be on one of the streaming services by now if you don't want to pay for it, but I definitely suggest it. If you're a fan of Prom Night, I think you might like this one. It's pretty cool. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.